Listen up. Men also go through a lot in their marriages, just that they don't voice it out loud like women due to how they are by nature. You see, behind every man's calm voice lies a world of quiet emotions. You see, every man may look strong on the outside, but even the strongest hearts have silent desires. We live in a world where women are being seen as the weaker vessels, so it tends to favor women more. We also live in a world that condemns domestic violence, and of course, no justifiable reason for it. But the problem now is that we often condemn this domestic violence that happens in a relationship or marriage, but never give a solution to it. We don't teach men how domestic violence can be avoided when the marriage becomes toxic and when the temptation to hit a woman begins to creep into their mind, when the heat becomes much. What can men do to avoid domestic violence? What can you do to avoid hitting your wife and avoid spending the rest of your life in jail? Especially for those men who have a troublesome, disrespectful, or nagging wife at home. Yes, of course. A woman can also be the problem in the marriage. A woman that don't listen to her husband. She claims right even when she's wrong. She wants to be the man. She insults her husband, talks down on him. You see, there are men that are in toxic marriages, trying all their best to make it work, but their wives are making it difficult for them. If you see you have a troublesome wife that tempts you to lay your hands on her, or tries to push you to the wall by provoking you to anger, you see, the best way to avoid falling into this temptation is for you to either leave that house for her or she leaves for you and go to her father's house and stay there for some time so that you can see if her brain can reset and see how you can resolve issues with her with the help of a guardian or counselor, and then call for a family reconciliation if they really want that marriage to go on and work properly. As a man, you must flee from every form of temptation in marriage, not just the temptation of cheating, but also the temptation of laying your hands, beating your wife. You can't be with a troublesome or stubborn person at home, knowing fully well that it's an offense to beat her. And we live in a society that frowns at domestic violence. So it's either you send her to her father's house or you leave that house for her, especially when it's difficult to resolve issues at that point in time. Or maybe you've tried all you can, all to no avail. The matter keeps getting worse and escalating. Just send her to her father's house or you leave that house for her before you kill somebody's daughter out of annoyance and end up in kirikiri. Separation is the best option when the whole house is on fire. With separation, everybody's head will cool down and you guys will begin to think straight. Whoever is wrong will begin to realize their mistakes gradually. It was only a misunderstanding that is not supposed to have escalated. So there should be a separation to avoid a reaction that would lead to your condemnation. There should be a family meeting of reconciliation. You, your wife, and her family, using a third party you confide in without being sentimental and can speak words of wisdom to melt your hearts to get back together. This is the kind of case where you don't have a choice than to involve a third party because you can't handle the situation alone. So involve a third party you both can confide in or look up to and can handle your differences with wisdom. Her family can even stand as a third party only if they won't be sentimental but plain and truthful. If not, involve a third party and also involve her family for a reconciliation. You see, no one gives this advice. We only keep saying and shouting, say no to domestic violence, say no to domestic violence, but we don't give the prevention for it. When the home is on fire, making you peaceless or provoking you to anger, at this moment, separate from your spouse for some time. It will really help. And for those in a dating relationship with a lady, if you notice that she nags or talks anyhow, my brother, you can't cope. Oh. Walk away earlier. Every form of domestic violence you see today was triggered by one thing or the other. If a woman does something you know you can't handle or is hard for you to bear, please walk away from the relationship. And for married couples, separate from your spouse for some time. By so doing, your heads will begin to cool down and you both will begin to think straight. Take note of this. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Be eager to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. You don't have to react to everything. Listen more, talk less, and stay cool. Yes, I know at times a woman can be provocative with her words or her actions, but try as much as you can to control your anger than laying your hands on her. Walk away from that scenario instead. And when there is so much heat in the home, it's either you send her back to her father's house or you leave that house for her until after a meeting for reconciliation. Wisdom is profitable to direct.